All right, so I'm doing this backwards. I created a video before where I had made an integration using Zapier where if I had set up two different funnels, when data's submitted through those funnels, it flows through to just one Google Sheets file. Probably in most cases, I would imagine people are just trying to set data up from one funnel to one Sheets file. That's fine if you only care to see or care to use one funnel, but if you're like me, you might want to try to set up a bunch of different funnels and then have all that data just flow through to Sheets and then be able to do some analysis on that. So if that's you, go watch that video. If you only need one funnel and one Sheets file integrated, watch this video. All right, so I'm going to jump into my funnel really quickly. I haven't completed this funnel. It's just kind of like a demo funnel at this point. You'll want to go to the settings page. Now, as I mentioned in the other video, if you have multiple pages set up in your funnel, you only need to set up this integration on just the page where you're collecting information, so like your address information, phone number, email, name, and whatnot that you're collecting from the user. You don't need to set up this integration on like a thank you page where you're not collecting anything. Or if you don't collect anything on the first page, don't set this up on that page. So I'm on the page where I have fields for people to collect information. I'm going to go to my settings page here. I'm going to scroll down to post webhook. I'm going to drop in a URL here. This URL I'm going to get from Zapier. So I'm going to go over here to Zapier. Most likely you're going to have Google Sheets listed here as the first app. If you didn't, you could search for that in here. You just type in Google Sheets or Sheets. But I'm going to go ahead and select this. Come on. There we go. And then I'm going to select webhook. All right. And then you scroll down, and then Zapier is going to show you different integrations that you can use here, including like if you're going to try to integrate with something else, like even Gmail or something like that. All that you really need for this is you need to add info to a Google Sheet from new webhook posts. So essentially, we're going to use this as app, but essentially what's going to happen is someone goes through your funnel when they submit data from a page into the fields that you've set up, like the name field and so forth. Data is going to be posted to the PhoneSites server, and then you're going to get an email generated for your lead and so forth. But also, this webhook is going to send data over now to Google Sheets using this Zapier Zap that we're set up. So let's select use this Zap. It's going to take a few seconds for this to load, and then it's going to show you a little page of like what it is that you're creating here. I'm not going to read through it. You can read through it if you want to. I'm just going to scroll down and select create this Zap. Select continue. Don't worry about any of this. Just select continue. Now copy this URL here. This is unique for this Zap. This is important. This is the one that you need to plug in over here into the post webhook field. Drop that in, and then save this. Awesome. And then I'm just going to go to view because we're going to need to submit information through here in a second, just so that Zapier can test this and make sure that this works. So don't change anything else. Don't change anything on this page. All you had to do is just copy this. So I'm going to say, okay, I did this. Scroll down. It's going to ask you this. Don't worry about this. Now it's looking for the hook. It's going to keep looking until you submit something from that funnel. So go. Okay. Go back over here. This is going to, in a couple seconds, come back and say the test is successful. All right, select continue. Now, I just want to show you, nothing has showed up over here in Sheets yet just because we're not done yet. Now we got to select the right Google account that you want to integrate this with, and then the right Google Sheets file, and then even like the right worksheet within that Sheets file that you want to integrate with. So I'm going to select continue. While that's loading really quickly, I want to show you. So when you set this up, you want to set up a Google Sheets file if you don't have one already, and you want to put in meaningful column headers up here That way, when the information is flowing through your funnel, it's going to show up in the appropriate columns, and you're going to have to map to these columns, which is really easy to do. We'll do that here in a second. Okay, I'm going to select. I have a bunch of these are redundant. This is just where I was like testing out for other apps and so forth. So it's just going to show up here because I'm using it for other stuff. But anyways, I'm going to select this, select test, success, save and continue. I guess I should have showed you. On that previous page, most likely it won't show you those integrations if you've never done this before. So what you'd have to do is, there would have been like a little button. Let's see what happens if I go back. I should have done this. I'm sorry. Oh, all right. So if you didn't have these previous connection stuff, then you'd select connect an account, and then a pop-up would show up, and then it would give you options of different Google accounts that you could connect to, and that's what you have to do. You'd select that, and then here, let's just do this. And then it's just going to ask you if you want to allow the connection between Zapier and your Google account. You'd select allow, and then it would make that connection, and it would bring you to this page right here where it would show you one of these little boxes showing you the account. So I already made this connection occur. I'm going to select continue. Okay, now on this page, this is where we're going to select the spreadsheet that we're connecting to. So this is now going to make a call to your Google account and check all of your Google Sheets files that you have stored out in your Google Drive. And it's going to show you the most recently used Google Sheets file. So if you need to find some other Sheets file, you should be able to type that in and find it, or you can scroll down through the list. So I selected the correct file, and then now I need to find the correct worksheet. And it's going to find all the worksheets you have in that file. It's sheet 1 that I want. I don't care about sheet 2, 3, and 4. And then now you need to, so it brings in also the column headers, which I had already put in there. So name, phone, email, and page. Now you need to map these. So you're going to select this button over here. You're going to map it to these fields. These fields that are showing up in these gray rows, that's the data that came in from the webhook from your funnel. So it's possible that maybe in your funnel you've named this something other than email, like maybe you called it email address or something like that. So it wouldn't necessarily match up with what you have over here. You just want to try to make it match in terms of like what data corresponds to. So like if it's an email address, if one column in your Sheets file is called like email address, and then in your funnel it's called email, obviously the data is going to be the same. It's going to be an email, so you want to map those together. You wouldn't want to map a phone number to an email. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So this is the name column in Sheets. So I'm going to select the name column from PhoneSites for my funnel, and then phone, map phone to phone, email to email, and then now if I wanted to, I could map this to page. I don't need to now, because for this video what we did was we were just mapping one funnel to one Google Sheets file. So if you're doing that, you don't need to have out here in Google Sheets, you don't need to have this page column, because then all you're going to have is just like the same page URL listed all the time. You can if you want to, but it's more important to have if you have it like how I set up in that other video where I had 2 different funnels going into one Sheets file, because then you could see, okay, row 2 is coming from the used car dealer funnel, and row 3 is coming from the new car dealer funnel, and so forth. And you get the point. Row 4 is coming from toilet store funnel or something like that. All right. Okay. And this is going to show you some sample data that came through from that webhook submission that we submitted through the funnel. Okay, I'm going to select finish here. And so now a sample row should go through. I'm going to get rid of this sample row. Now that your integration is set up, your integration is now on and working. Let's go back to the funnel. Let's show you how this works. So I'm going to refresh this. Get it submitted, and if I go back over here, my Sheets file, there's my data. All right, easy peasy, right? All right, thanks.